From the side of the ministry, one of our mandate core duty is to empower the youth and prepare them for national development. So the participation in ICS gives the youth opportunity to use their talent for the benefit of the community. The objective of the ICS program, especially from our point of view as a ministry, is that we want to empower our youth to gain experience and to contribute to the community without expecting any form of payment. The results realized in the ICS program by the volunteers are many. First, there were those who were immediately absorbed in the institutions that they worked in because they were able to contribute positively. And then secondly, some of the hidden talents in the youth that they had not realized they had were exposed, so that they were able to gain confidence and be able to express themselves. In fact, the issue of self-esteem, most of them came in when they were a bit shy, but at the end of the program they could be able to express themselves clearly and be able to state what they wanted.
VSO ICS volunteers, I can say it was successful because they increased our manpower, because at that time we had a low manpower and still there were some activities which were supposed to go on. So having them, it was really successful because we managed to successfully do the activity that we had meant to do in that period. On the issue of fundraising, I mentioned that we worked with the VSO, ICS volunteers on developing a business plan which was entailing issues of alternative charcoal briquettes and as well as the butterfly farming project.
MEDA organization's objectives are education. So we have a number of programs in MEDA, and some of the programs include a lot of youths. We work with youths for HIV, and we also work with youth for empowerment, and also you work with youth for exchange program. VSO ICS program had quite a big impact in Malindi community. Organizations, the placements, they also reported quite a number of successes. Like one success was in Tosha Youth Group, where they reported that when the volunteer came in, is when they came with things like strategic plan, a lot of managerial documents, capacity building for the organization, and also maybe other good techniques of how to reach people, because they reach people through magnet theater. The same with Vision Magnet Theatre, where they reported that they were able to do a very big youth outreach, which actually was able to attract more than 3,000 youths in Malindi. Getting 3,000 youths is quite, it's not very easy. So by Vision Magnet getting 3,000 youth, this was a very big, important event, where they did outreach, a very big outreach, and they were able to involve services like blood donation, VCT, reproductive health services, and the like. So a lot of impact, a lot of youths were able to get these services just because Vision Magnet, the volunteer who came from ICS, was able to arrange all this with them.
Kisumu Children's Remand Home is a government institution in the Department of Children's Services in the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Development. We are taking care of children in need of camp protection, and also we are taking care of child offenders. The Kisumu Children's Remand Home, we had VSO ICS volunteers from April 2012 to August 2012. The impact of the VSO ICS volunteers in our institution was very successful. Why am I saying that? Is because maybe I can give an example of the activities we have been doing. When they came, they really helped us in the improvement of these activities. And a very good example is we are having the National Library near our institution, and we had started visiting it, borrowing books, and even sometimes taking our children to the library. But it reached a point where we kind of stopped doing that. But when the volunteers came, they reactivated us, they energized us, they encouraged us, and we began again taking the children to the library and also borrowing books in bulk. They even helped us preparing a place where we could keep these books safely. So up to this point in time, we still go to the library, borrow these books in bulk, and then our children can access them, can read the books, and they really enjoy it. VSO ICS volunteers shared their cultural experiences, culture from the UK, and also the volunteers learned cultural issues from this area. And of course we had the local volunteers from Western who they also shared their cultural issues with the children, and it was a very nice experience for the children. They could even put what they learned about the UK culture in pictures, and this really showed that the children understood what they were taught, and also they were really enjoying to learn these new things from the other areas, places of the world.
This year, Children First Organization Fraternity was privileged to host VSO ICS volunteers. We hosted them in the first session, which was from January to April, and then on the second session also we were privileged to host them from April to July. The VSOs worked in different fields within the program, and just to mention but a few, they helped, number one, in creating a website, because Children First has never had a website before, and this is an important tool to showcase what we are doing to different organizations, and also as a fundraising tool. The VSO ICS volunteers were very helpful in doing counseling to a number of children, because the children that we are working with, a number of them are going into their pre-teen, and so counseling is a duty that is very vital at that point. The volunteers also went to the outreach program in Bondo to help with the distribution of the materials and also writing reports. They were so vital in writing of proposals during their office work. During the January session, we managed to do one proposal writing with the VSO ICS volunteers, and during the second session, which was from April to July, we managed to do 2 proposal writing. Well, unfortunately, we had not managed to get any feedback from the proposals that we wrote, so we cannot substantively say whether they were successful or not. But the most important thing is that in the process, we managed to acquire the skills of proposal writing, because we were also learning a lot, and also searching for related funding organization or donor organizations.
I'm working for Bamata Environmental and Sanitation Project, which is a community-based organization within Nyalenda informal settlements of Kisumu City. In Bamata, we had VSO ICS volunteers. In January, we had 2. That was Baka and Amina. And then in April, we also had 2. And their names were the same. They were all Sebastians. The first 2 in January, they were of a professional caliber. Amina was more of a financial expert, and Baka was a human resource expert. Now they came with a strategy on how financial matters can be monitored within Bamata setup. Also, Baka came up with a strategy which is written on how human resource development can be done, how we can be recruiting, what can be done, and how remuneration can be calculated. The first 2 VSO volunteers who came in January 2012, they came up with a program called School Outreach Programs, where they were going to schools and collaborating with students and teachers on environmental issues. And now our members have taken that program and they're continuing with it within 8 schools which surrounds our peri-urban areas.
The ministry plans to use the ICS program as a stepping stone to build on volunteerism amongst the youth. So as a ministry, we are going to use this as a foundation to be able to incorporate more youth in the volunteerism. It opened up our eyes to realize that the community needs assistance. The youth have the talent. So if we can encourage them to volunteer more through the different associations in the community, then we are going to be able to build the community to a stable one.
The organization Fraternity has been in touch with all the VSO ICS volunteers since they left the program, because it's our sincere belief that after they've left, they only leave physically, but we are always in touch, because even in future when they still come back to Kenya, they will also still come. They'll still come to visit with us and get to know how the program is progressing.
I would like to appreciate their coming and their input in bringing the organization to its level, to where it has to go.
It was a very nice experience to have the volunteers with us, because we learned a lot from them. They also helped us in carrying out our day-to-day activities. Sometimes we have a challenge with lack of enough personnel, but having the 4 volunteers around, it was really good. The workload actually reduced. So we are more than ready to have the volunteers once again, because of what they did for us.